Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. On April 5, 1975, during the Qingming Festival, Chiang Kai-shek passed away in Taipei. For Soong Mei-ling, it felt as if the world was spinning. Soon, Chiang's descendants followed the instructions he had meticulously prepared in his will, handling the aftermath with care. However, when Soong Mei-ling learned the specific contents of the will, she was immediately enraged. Was this truly the outcome of their 48 years of marriage and companionship? As soon as the will was read, she decided that she would leave Taiwan in the future and move to the United States, where she ultimately spent her later years. So, what exactly did Chiang Kai-shek write in his will that infuriated Soong Mei-ling so much? And how did she sustain her life after relocating to the U.S.? Chiang Kai-shek's failing health. According to historical records, Chiang Kai-shek's health steadily declined in his later years. After relocating to Taipei, the dramatic shifts in the political landscape placed him under immense psychological pressure, directly impacting his well-being. In his personal diary, Chiang frequently mentioned his ailments, describing them in grave terms, indicating that his condition was deeply concerning. At the age of 75, Chiang was diagnosed with prostatitis. While this condition was common among elderly individuals and not necessarily severe, an American doctor, whom Soong Mei-ling specially invited from the U.S., made matters worse. Although this doctor was highly experienced, he had never treated a distinguished patient like Chiang Kai-shek before. During the surgery, overwhelmed by nervousness, his hands trembled uncontrollably. As a result, not only did he fail to improve Chiang's condition, but he also exacerbated his suffering. The procedure lasted for about half an hour. Chiang endured the entire surgery without anesthesia, enduring pain so intense that he nearly lost consciousness. What angered him even more was that instead of recovering, his condition deteriorated further after the operation. This failed surgery inflicted excruciating pain on him while offering no relief, making it an outright disaster. A series of misfortunes. As the saying goes, misfortunes never come alone. Already suffering from unbearable pain, Chiang Kai-shek soon encountered another catastrophe, an automobile accident. This unexpected event further weakened his already frail body, causing his health to decline even more rapidly. On the evening of September 16, 1969, Chiang Kai-shek and Soong Mei-ling departed from the Shilin official residence, heading to Yangmingshan for a summer retreat. Their convoy consisted of 4 vehicles, a lead car at the front, 2 security vehicles at the back, and Chiang's car in the middle. As darkness fell and the mountain roads lay empty, the convoy sped along the route. However, on this seemingly peaceful evening, disaster suddenly struck. As they were midway up the mountain, a jeep unexpectedly darted out from the desolate road. The lead driver quickly slammed the brakes, successfully avoiding a head-on collision. However, Chiang Kai-shek's car, following closely behind, failed to react in time and crashed directly into the vehicle ahead. Although the accident did not claim the lives of Chiang and Soong, Chiang suffered a severe chest injury. On the way to the hospital, he coughed up blood. Though emergency treatment saved his life, the damage was done. After being discharged, his health rapidly deteriorated. Recalling the incident later, Chiang lamented helplessly, "This accident has shortened my life by at least 10 years. Declining health and death." Additionally, the global landscape underwent significant changes in the 1970s. China's international influence continued to rise. Thus, under the combined impact of both internal and external factors, Chiang Kai-shek's health deteriorated rapidly in 1975. From January onward, he fell into a deep coma, experiencing persistent high fever, urinary system disorders, and severe heart and lung failure. Despite the medical team's best efforts, his condition remained irreversible. Finally, on the evening of April 5, Chiang Kai-shek passed away due to sudden cardiac arrest and respiratory failure. Chiang Kai-shek not only diligently kept a diary throughout his life but also left behind multiple wills, 9 in total. As early as 1921, when he served as the commander of the 2nd Regiment of the Guangdong Army, he wrote his first will. At that time, the political situation was unstable, and Chiang often faced exclusion while holding local positions, constantly fearing that he might meet an untimely end. Chiang's first will was more of a personal reflection. At the time, he was an unknown figure, possessing neither wealth nor power. In this document, he mainly expressed his grievances about fate and used it as a lesson for future generations. However, not long after writing it, he encountered influential patrons who helped him rise swiftly in his career, eventually securing a place at the core of political power. In 1931, the Mukden incident broke out, and Japanese forces ravaged Chinese territory. As the country faced invasion, Chiang Kai-shek became the target of public criticism from all sectors of society. The immense public pressure left him sleepless and anxious, constantly fearing for his safety. It was under this state of unease that Chiang penned his second will. During the Xi'an incident, Zhang Xueliang and Yang Hucheng staged a military intervention against Chiang in Lintong. Fearing for his life, Chiang hastily drafted another will amidst the chaos. He divided this will into 3 copies and entrusted them separately to Soong Mei-ling, Chiang Ching-kuo, and Chiang Wei-kuo. His intention was to ensure harmony between his family members and Soong Mei-ling, explicitly stating his wish to be buried alongside her. Ironically, despite Chiang Kai-shek's frequent concerns about assassination or sudden death, he ultimately lived a long life, rendering his earlier wills unnecessary. Even after relocating to Taiwan, Chiang retained his habit of writing wills. Whenever he faced a life-threatening situation, he would immediately write down his final words. For instance, before undergoing prostate surgery, he drafted another will, meticulously detailing arrangements for his affairs. However, like his previous attempts, this will also went unused and was eventually discarded. As he grew older and his health deteriorated, Chiang became acutely aware of his limited time and began carefully planning for the future. Years before his death, he started grooming Chiang Ching-kuo, gradually transferring power to him and eliminating potential obstacles. It is worth noting that the exact date when Chiang Kai-shek wrote his final will remains unclear. However, the level of detail in the document suggests that it was not written in haste. In this will, Chiang made explicit arrangements for Chiang Ching-kuo and others regarding their official positions. He even meticulously outlined how his posthumous affairs should be handled, demonstrating his thorough and deliberate planning. This document not only reflected his meticulous considerations for his legacy but also highlighted the importance he placed on a smooth power transition. Before his passing, Chiang made appropriate arrangements for all his close family members, except for Soong Mei-ling. His final will made no mention of her whatsoever. He neither made any financial provisions for her future nor left any specific instructions for her, as if she had never truly been part of the Chiang family. Having accompanied Chiang Kai-shek for decades, Soong Mei-ling was deeply disheartened by such an outcome. Less than 6 months after Chiang's death, she left Taiwan in frustration and moved to the United States to live alone. Although she was filled with emotions upon leaving, once in the U.S., Soong Mei-ling embraced a life of luxury. According to historical records, Soong Mei-ling lived an extravagant lifestyle in her later years, residing in a private estate spanning 160,000 square meters. She had a dedicated staff attending to her daily needs. It is estimated that her annual living expenses exceeded $1 million. But if she did not inherit Chiang Kai-shek's wealth, where did this vast sum of money come from? According to insiders, Chiang Kai-shek had set a rule for Soong Mei-ling during his lifetime: every month she would receive a fixed and substantial allowance. This money was entirely at her disposal and did not include expenses for medical care, housing, or other necessities. In other words, it was her private fund, which she could spend however she pleased. Even after Chiang Kai-shek's passing, the Chiang family continued to provide financial support for Soong Mei-ling. While living in the United States, she received a monthly living allowance sent by the Chiang family. In addition, all her expenses, including medical bills, beauty treatments, and housekeeping services, were fully covered by the Chiang family, leaving her with virtually no personal financial burden. Furthermore, Soong Mei-ling maintained an extremely close relationship with H. Kung. As the husband of Soong Mei-ling, Kung had long-standing ties with the Chiang family during Chiang Kai-shek's lifetime. After Chiang's death, he took even greater care of Soong Mei-ling, who was living alone in the U.S. Not only did he purchase a private estate for her, but he also helped arrange her residence in a high-end apartment in New York, personally attending to every detail. Of course, Soong Mei-ling was not solely reliant on external support. She was financially strong in her own right. Her monthly income was quite substantial, and in earlier years, she had quietly invested in several overseas enterprises, particularly in the oil and natural gas industries. These investments provided her with a steady stream of income, with funds regularly deposited into her private accounts, ensuring that she never had to worry about financial matters. As some historians have remarked, the lives of Chiang Kai-shek and Soong Mei-ling were nothing short of legendary. They once enjoyed immense wealth and stood at the pinnacle of power, yet in the end, they were merely fleeting figures in the vast tide of history. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.